Hello, hello, hello. I found out that I can use the OBS studio mode to actually do some decent transitions with the themes. I usually just changed the themes via just clicking on them. But I found out that I also can just use the studio mode and transition via a fading effect. Hello Tikabe, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. How's the start of your week? Hope you're having a great week. As you have probably you've seen yesterday, I tried out kiwis with the skin still on, and yeah, it's a little to get used to, but I don't hate it, so I will continue eating kiwis with skin, which was a thing I did not think was like ever on my on my bingo cards. But yeah, I guess just washing kiwis and eating them with skin is a thing one can do, which I will do from now on. uh, I was just talking about screen transitions. I will see if I can do a little more stuff with them in the future, because I know there are like animations and stuff one can use for that. I think the skin has more nutrients than the flesh of the fruit. Usually, yes. Usually the skin of fruits, like if you eat peeled fruits, usually you miss out on lots of vitamins, because vitamins at the end of the day are basically kind of like rock structures, organic rock structures, more or less, that usually the skin of any fruit and vegetable is really hard because of the vitamins. The vitamins make the skin hard, usually. So, yeah, if you just peel them and only eat the soft innards of any fruit, usually the vitamins are in the skin. So, yeah, that's one thing. And also the fiber content is a lot higher in the skin. So if you want to add a little bit of fiber, which is always a good idea into your diet, then you can do that by eating the skin of fruit and vegetables. I've never known that it's a good idea to eat kiwi skin though, so yeah, I also didn't really think I would at all enjoy the texture of the skin because it's really fuzzy. Yeah, I need to eat more fiber. I don't know if I need to eat more fiber. I just wing my diet basically. I also am currently a little how could you say? It's not specifically dangerous, but I am currently in a way too high deficit when it comes to eating, because I accidentally trained myself to eat less than 1,800 calories a day, which was an accident. I do try to fix that, because lower than 1,800 is not recommended in any way. But yeah, that's a thing I accidentally fell into, a habit that I accidentally fell into, and trying to fix that. But I don't think that will be too much of a problem, because once I've noticed, and I do keep track of my calories, and I just, one day it was like, oh yeah, I still have calories open, but I don't feel hungry, so I don't eat, and yeah, I'm under 2,000 calories now, and and about 180 protein. I don't, as I said, I don't really know what my other values are. I do know that my diet is mostly balanced. I eat vegetables. I probably should cut down on the carbs still, because I still eat a lot of carbs. But my protein is, I eat like 400 grams of chicken daily. So my proteins are definitely, and I also eat eggs daily. So my breakfast is eggs, and I eat like a pack of chicken each day. I'm doing recomposition, so I need to make sure to eat enough protein. Yeah. I do know that the basic bodybuilder food is chicken with rice. So something similar I am eating. But my diet is more like, for breakfast I eat 2 eggs. Then around lunchtime, for lunch, I eat like 300 calories of udon noodles, which are Japanese something wheat noodles, and lots of chicken. I eat tortilla wrap instead of rice. Yeah, I don't think there is too much of a difference when it comes to carbs. Or not that I know about it anyways. So I guess it's mostly carbs and protein if you want to bulk. And other than that, it's basically, yeah, whatever vitamins you need. So don't skip out on the vitamins. That's usually not a good idea. But my diet is basically a morning protein with 2 eggs. Around lunch, I get usually I get the bami goreng. I have frozen bami goreng, which is pretty good quality actually. Where there is lots of vegetables in there. Sometimes I eat noodles with chicken and a little bit of like whatever vegetable I have, salad. Usually I have salads, zucchinis, cucumbers, or yeah, usually just those 3. I thought I had still one more type of vegetable, because I like to vary, but I can't remember when the last time was that I got my 4th different vegetable. I eat spinach, broccoli, and some other frozen vegetables. Yeah, that's also a good idea to just buy the frozen vegetables, because they usually don't lose the vitamins in the process, especially if you steam them to get them cooked. But I usually buy the fresh ones because I go out for shopping once a week. Also, I don't remember ever seeing frozen cabbage, like the iceberg salads. I don't think I've ever seen any iceberg salads in frozen form. Also zucchinis. I don't think there are frozen zucchini thingies anywhere. I think it's mostly stuff that fits on one spoon, basically, you get as a frozen vegetable. Yeah, they don't sell frozen cabbage. Yeah, I thought so. It's actually quite sad, because the stuff I use for my vegetables is zucchinis in the vegetable mix. Okay. But I usually don't buy the vegetable mix because either it has stuff like bell pepper, which I can react allergic to. I'm very happy that the Barmi Goreng that I buy does not cause any allergic reaction because it's been presumably already cooked once and then just put into the frozen mix. But if it's raw frozen bell pepper, I cannot eat it actually because it usually will have too many allergens still inside, so I can't eat those. That's a little handicap I have. I do like the taste of bell peppers, but sadly I cannot really eat them raw. They have to be cooked for like at least 20 minutes. It can't be steamed basically, because if they are steamed they aren't. I don't know what the actual cause is, but I think it's just like if when the bell pepper is steamed, the allergen doesn't dissolve or something. So it just has to be really thoroughly cooked before I can eat any bell pepper. Otherwise I get very bad tummy aches, which is not really what I want. But I do like the taste of bell pepper. But yeah, so the vegetables I usually get are not really in any isolated frozen form, so if I wanted to, I could just cut them and freeze them myself. That would probably be a good idea, but I also usually just go shopping once a week where I can just get fresh vegetables, and then I don't need to freeze them in any way. It's usually just me grabbing like one or two salads. Zucchini always comes in bundles, and one cucumber. And then when it's time for cooking, I just cut them up and put them in. I don't even count the calories of my vegetables, because it's basically before I really need to start counting calories of vegetables, I need to have like half a kilogram before it actually makes a difference. So yeah, but if I would go for other vegetables, I obviously would need to count those calories too, because I think like 100 gram of carrots is already like 50 calories, which in my counting system definitely counts. So yeah, that's my philosophy on how I eat, how my diet works. And currently I'm doing fine. I've been like accidentally eating 1 week where I only had 1,200 calories per day, which not great, could be harmful in the long run, so I try to not do that anymore. And currently I'm doing better with that. I do still need to eat like 250 calories more a day, but that's still fine. It also obviously it aids massively in losing weight, so yeah, but well, for the moment anyways. It's gonna come back to bite me in the ass, so I don't want to keep doing that. Also, the health reasons that are implied with eating too little is also something I don't want to deal with, so I gotta fix that. It's not great. But it's nice that I've reached a point where eating is actually something I can reward myself with again, where usually before that's good. I'm getting back to my diet after break. Yeah, absolutely I think how diets should work is basically you should have two diets basically. I am currently I for myself, because I do have a very big overweight issue. I am fat basically. Or I was fat. I am at a pretty good way to not be overweight anymore. And I was at 125 kilograms, and I am currently at 108. So my goal is to reach 90 kilograms at least. After that, I will try to go into a less harsh diet. It was because I started eating sweets again, I stopped eating it again. Yeah, that's something I've kind of discovered too. If you did the stuff that actually not directly makes you gain weight, but indirectly makes you gain weight because your insulin is just all over the place, is heavy sugary food. I lost 14 kilograms, but I gained it back. Gonna lose it again. Yeah, that's also very normal. And my plan is basically, after my harsh diet, my very strong diet, I will go into a less harsh diet where I still can lose weight. So the 90 kilograms I will go. I'm on 114 and 90 is my go-to weight, maybe 95 depending on how I feel. Yeah, it's also relevant what body size you are. Like, I'm 182 centimeters, so my recommended body weight, at least for the BMI and without counting any muscles, is like 80. And I do have a little bit of muscle weight. I don't go to the gym, but I have a dumbbell here that is currently weighing in at 14 kilograms. So the 14 kilogram dumbbell is my go-to for every exercise for an area, and whenever I have a development meeting where I only have to listen and only like sometimes have to say something, I will go take that dumbbell and do some sets. And usually it's like I do just normal lifting, like the usual weightlifting that you do for the biceps. So I will do that with one arm until I can't lift the weight anymore. I'll do it with the other until I can't lift the weight anymore. I'll do a special... my buddy showed me basically a special back muscle training. That's like one movement with the dumbbell. I still need to do my chest, triceps, and shoulders workout today. Good luck with that. You can if you want to, just lurk for that. I usually do my workout if I couldn't do any workout the day. I usually also just lurk in someone's chat and do my workout, and sometimes chat a little bit. But if you do some really concentrated training where it's really intense, then you can also just mute the tab in your browser so that you still count as a viewer. If I'm gonna lurk and do it when the game part starts. Yeah, I will do that shortly. I just want to conclude my thoughts on diets, which is basically you can always, if you do a little bit of exercise, like I don't think my exercise is really intense, so my muscle mass is probably like 5 kilograms or 6 kilograms. And I have like 3 movements I do. One for the back muscles, one is purely for the biceps. I do this kind of thing where I press, how would you say? I take my dumbbell, I lightly lose my grip and then grip it back to do some kind of, is it triceps training? Is it the triceps? Let me check triceps. No, it's not the triceps. It's what is it? Is it the quadriceps? No, the quadriceps are on the legs. I do also do quadriceps training. I take basically my 14 kilogram dumbbell and I do, how were they called? Some Slavic country deadlifts. I can't remember. I think they were just called Slavic deadlifts or something. I can't remember, but I do them for my leg muscles because I do already have very strong calves. They do not really need any more training, specifically because I was walking on those calves with 125 kilograms for most of my life. So they don't need any specific training anymore. They can just chill for now. I don't want to lose them, obviously, so I always, if I can walk somewhere, I still walk somewhere. But those calves will not go away, I think. Calves are hard to work out, it's mostly genetics. Yeah, that also. But I don't think that these will go away anytime soon for me, because they've been trained on my body weight for my entire life. So I don't think they need any specific training right now. I will probably, if I can get into it, I will probably get more specific trainings and stuff. But currently I don't think there's any need for that. But I do want to... I wanted to look up which muscles were the ones basically where your the lower arm, basically the part where you, I don't even know what the name of the bones are in English. I know the names in German, but I can't. Ah, goddamn. Advertisements everywhere. I don't think that's the name. Maybe. I don't know. Effectively, the muscles that you train if you grab something, basically. If you open your hand and close your hand, you see your underarm a little bit. And basically, if you take like a dumbbell and just let loose of your grip a little bit and then grip again, it basically also trains that muscle, which is, I don't know if it's recommended, but I do it. I have not had any problem with it so far, and I don't think there will be any. But it's probably not something you usually do. I also do a little bit of shoulder training by just taking the dumbbell in one arm, letting that arm relax and just shrug. So I will be standing right in the middle of my room, shrugging with some dumbbell in my hand. So yeah, that's a thing I do. I also, what to do? Oh right, I have a little cool something that I wanted to show. And yes, it's already showing up. Do you see this? This is from my very own API for OBS. It's basically at the moment just a text with a transparent background that you can call from your browser. But I have learned how to do that, and it's the first step in my multi-step program of trying to do some fun stuff with Twitch and the stream element swaps. I will try to make, for example, I haven't really figured out how Tangia works, and I think it's quite limited in what you can do with it. So I want to do a little bit of my own, where I can basically just add whatever I want. And I will try to, for example, capture single programs similar to OBS, but I will try to make like the transparency work so that I can, for example, we tried when Sora showed the Not Monday Cafe, I wanted to try to see if it works on Linux. Sadly, it does not work on Linux, but I do want to kind of try to get it to work on Linux. So my idea was to basically make this API and at least transfer the video, the pictures from time to time. So I will see if that works in any ways. But if it works, I will have just some kind of web browser source that I can add on top of anything I want and just have it there, which also would allow me to have the Bean Boy once I can once I have my credit card and can buy him, which means I can basically render the Bean Boy. Well, I already could do that. I could take a specific machine. This would absolutely, I already have an idea here, but this would absolutely be overkill. I already have my Windows machine, which does my gaming. I have my general purpose Ubuntu machine, which handles my streaming currently. But I could also add another machine with either Windows or a Linux and add that one so that the NDI source basically I could just add another NDI source. I would have the problem of a specifically non-transparent background. I would need to choose a color that doesn't appear in any part of the model, but I could do that. I could just add a transparency key filter for a third machine. I could do that. I think that's a fun idea to do. But yeah, obviously there are multiple things that need to be done first. But I do think I need to write that down. Wait a minute, I have to write that down. I have to write that down. Additional machine for VTube Studio. That will be a fun side project if I ever have the time for that. Alright, but I think this should be enough of the yaps. I will change the category. Yes. Now I can be even more professional because I have with the studio mode, I have the big change category sign, but nobody can see it right now, so I don't have to show anybody the big change category text. Can change the category and then press the transition button to transition to the correct scene. I love it. It's so much fun. It's great. All right. So I wish you good luck and a very productive workout. And I will start loading our game. Thanks, good luck to you too. Thank you. Although I don't need luck. I've played this game like... I can't even... like 20 times? At least 20 times. But thank you anyways. A little bit of luck. Actually, I have... Whoops, I forgot this is still not the game with the side step. You're a pro now. If I wasn't a pro after 20 times playing through this game, I don't know what I'm doing. Like at that point I could just not play it anymore if I wasn't good after 20 times going through the game. Although I do have the additional challenges of a little bit of delay. So yeah, this is actually a little harder than it would be if I actually just plugged it into a TV that has the analog input. But alright. But yeah, it's not that big of a deal. Anyways, last time we got the Magna boots, and we are currently walking on an air vent that leads into the city. We got those Magna boots on Oxen, the toxic planet, and this part of the story is basically for a little extra item, which we will get after doing this last mission. But to touch back on the thing I said before with the luck, I actually had for my A14 Japanese lessons, we had our last session for that course. We will have another course after that, which will be 2.1, I think. And for that last session, we basically, because the Japanese holiday, I would need to get my, how do you call it, my binder for the, I would need to get my binder for the lesson, for the course, to tell you exactly how the holiday was called. But it's basically a holiday where you write your wishes on a piece of paper, and then you put the piece of paper on a tree. It's not Golden Week. Golden Week is like in April, and that holiday was like 7 days ago, I think. Also, Golden Week is a full-on week, obviously, and that holiday is actually just 1 day, I think. Exactly 1 day. So basically the holiday consists of people writing their wishes on a piece of paper. Oh yeah, I know that. I know what you're talking about, but I also can't remember the name. Yeah, I would have to look it up. I do have a worksheet basically in my binder, which has the name on it. It was something starting with T. You know what? I will just quickly into my folders. No, this is not it. Where's my binder? It is... Wait, did we not get... We got a worksheet, didn't we? No! We don't have a worksheet. Or is it? No! This can't be. Well, because we were like going through the how to say I wish for something, and I was so sure that we had like a little worksheet for that, but apparently not. God damn it. Tanabata? Maybe. Let me check it. Star Festival. I think so, yes. Yes, it was Tanabata. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Tikari. That's, it was Tanabata. Yeah, so we made the little wish cards, basically. Watching a lot of anime plays out. Yeah, maybe I also should have just paid more attention in class, but on the other hand, it was the last session where we basically after we did the lesson itself, we just drank tea. Our teacher brought some original Japanese tea, which is so goddamn awesome. It is really... You think that it's just a weak thing to say that Japanese stuff just is better, but the tea is just completely differently produced, and it is so much tastier. But yeah, we basically made these wish cards where we put our wishes on, and I am a person that is quite content with how this life is going. I don't think I need a lot more in my life, although I do wish for a little bit more at least. But I thought to myself, okay, what could I need in my life? What is a thing that I still need? Because money, I don't have money problems. I am one of the few people that does not have money problems, and I am so glad for that. I do want to say I do not come from any rich family. My father was pretty much underpaid in a company that promised him to... Basically, the company promised him if they get very wealthy, they will share with him. That company took 10 years of his life and then went bankrupt. And my mother is a nurse, so nurses usually, there is no good paid nurse, there is no good salary for a nurse. Nurses will always be exploited, in my experience. So yeah, didn't really come from a wealthy family. In fact, we did most of the time barely scrape by. we didn't really have a lot of stuff. We did have our gaming consoles, and I have a lots of the games that we bought over the years. But yeah, one of the reasons I played Ratchet Clank like 20 times is because my first game for the PlayStation 2 that we bought, and the PlayStation 2 back then was, I think, a retail, like a second-hand. So I played through the game like 5 times before I got Ratchet Clank 2 for my 12th birthday. Basically, I got Ratchet Clank for my 11th birthday, I think, and Ratchet Clank 2 for my 12th. So yeah, one of the reasons why I love this game and played it for that many times.
Look, the plumber's back.
Very funny.
And nowadays I'm glad to just make enough money that I can support myself, support my family, and even sometimes can support other people I like. So yeah, I'm having no real money issues at the moment.
Come on, what's the sense of keeping up a turret if nobody's gonna use it? Besides, the Blarg chased you off the last planet. Why don't we pay him back?
Well, all right, go on if you want. Just don't break anything.
Yeah, so I accidentally talked a little bit over the cutscene. I do apologize. I hope the subtitles helped with understanding what was going on. But basically, we have this turret that the kind sir here, which is usually described as a plumber, but that guy is really skilled in about anything, so I think he's an engineer actually, that is disguised as a plumber. Anyways, we have this turret, which we will use to target the big bombers over there and remove them from this planet. The reason why this guy is on board with our plan is because there's basically chaos everywhere and nobody's gonna know if if we use that thing. So we will bombs away. This is actually not that easy if you play for the first time and don't know how the radar at the bottom right works, because usually you'd assume that important targets are red. However, the most important targets are these rockets, and they are actually displayed in white, which is quite confusing if you ask me. But yeah, this is basically what we are going to do. We are going to shoot down these ships, these battleships, and trying to destroy the rockets that they are sending out, because the rockets are... I think it takes like 3 rockets to destroy our turret. So we really have to be careful. But if you got the hang of it and know what to look out for, then it's actually quite easy. But yeah, as I was saying, I did come to the conclusion that the thing that would help me most in life at this point is a little bit of luck. So I wished for luck, and I don't have any tree that I can hang the... Whoops. Yeah, that's one hit. I don't have any tree to put the wish on at the moment, so I took my little contraption. I have like a phone. Whoops. I have like a phone holder that is mostly made for taking photos for scanning documents, but it can be that was a little unlucky right now, I think.
Well.
Okay.
Looks like he's good for something after all. Here, take this.
What is it?
It detects underground bolts. My grandfather designed it to suck up loose change on any planet in the galaxy. What a cheap old man he was. Well, see you around sometime.
Since you now own the metal detector, a bolt icon will show up on screen whenever you are near a buried stash of bolts. When equipped, the metal detector will give you signals to indicate your proximity to the buried bolts. The detector plate will always indicate the direction to the bolts. Hold down the circle button to activate the device. As you move closer to the bolts, the rings will become redder and the beeping will become faster. Continue holding down the circle button, and once you are directly over the bolts, the metal detector will suck them out of the ground.
Yeah, so we got a metal detector. Basically, it was explained. And this is how it works. It's not really worth it to use it a lot, or at all, actually. So I will not use it. But it's a fun little item that you can grab. And with that, we are done on this planet. Yeah, but as I said, I thought a little bit of luck would probably be the best thing I could currently wish for. And we'll see. It is, at the end of the day, a more or less a superstition. But it doesn't hurt to believe a little bit in some of these things. So,
Hi there, Fuzzball.
yeah. I will just hope that it gives me a little bit of luck. Or I don't know what the time frame is. But a little bit of luck would definitely help in a lot of ways in my life. So, we actually got a new item that I actually
So,
currently
you buy some
cannot
or what?
buy. It's the Visibomb gun, which is the Devastator on a remote control. Basically, if you have the Devastator, you have already, in my opinion, the best weapon in the game, considering the price. So if it's about
So,
the
you gonna buy something or what?
the best economic weapon, it is this one. This is the best economic weapon, in my opinion. This
Oh, that's
is
a nice one.
the second best economic weapon, because you can just take the Visibombs and, yeah, just fly around, explore the map, and you will find a lot of cool stuff. You can remotely kill enemies, so it can take out harder enemies. If you have like a situation where it's hard to reach an enemy, you can just use the Visibomb and explode him remotely. But I do think that the Devastator is better. So yeah, but if you had to like wish for something, what would you wish for? That's a question I genuinely have, because I know that most people would say money, probably. So if it's money, that's fine. It's a little bit quote unquote boring, but I understand. So yeah, what if money, let's make it interesting. If money and luck, we already have money and luck. What's a thing that one could wish for? I do know that I have seen that some people actually did watch my VOD, or at least I have a view on my VOD. So for the people watching the VOD, first of all, hello. Second of all, if you could like wish for anything, like something specific or something in general, what would it be? I'm genuinely curious. Because I took like 10 minutes to figure out that I want to wish for luck. Because I do know that there's also like health and love and stuff, but I think luck is basically the better deal. I also luck and so health and love wasn't immediately on my mind, but I also was a little bit put on the spot. So that's also something to consider. I was like, okay, most people want money. I don't need money. What do I need? What could be helpful? So yeah, I do also think that luck is technically accounted. Luck technically accounts for health and love. So I think that the deal I got, if my wish comes true with a little bit more luck, then the other things are probably kind of included. So it's still the better deal. All right. Yeah, one of the greatest soundtracks of Planet Poketaru and the Yowai Resort. And I do think this level, it's not my favorite level, to be honest, but it does have a very chill atmosphere, especially for summer. It's like the perfect level for summer. However, you do notice probably that there are funny little ships flying around, dropping some kind of toxic waste into the ocean. And I do know a guy that has some complaints of his own about that.
Hey, you two are the first friendly faces I've seen in weeks. You are friendly, aren't you?
To you, yes. To him, no.
Well, friend, have I got a deal for you? Since the Blarg began dumping their toxic sludge into our ocean, the wildlife has,
Become ravenous mutants?
yeah, you could say that. All my customers either left or became lunch. So I'm closing the place down. However, I just so happen to have one, count 'em one, O2 mask left.
How much?
It's not for sale.
But you said...
I said I had a deal, and indeed I do. You boys get rid of those Blarg ships, and it's yours. Just escort me to the other end of this resort, and you can use our jet fighter.
Jet fighter, eh? All right. But you better not try to stiff us.
Yeah, so he has a little problem with the corner mutating. And we need to escort him to the end of this path, basically. It does look very small, to be honest. However, this guy does not know how to drive. So yeah. The enemies here are mutated fish that will start rolling with spikes into our direction. Yeah, so this guy is basically now driving around here and will... The first target, I think, where he needs to go is here, yes. So he will... Hello, Adrenaline Dragon. Welcome in. How are you doing? What's up, what's up? How's your week going? How's the game going? We are currently in the Yowai Resort. And we are trying to escort the guy. I'm from the UK. Nice. So you are probably just coming from work or school, right? It's like 5, I think, currently. I remember the good old RNC games. Yeah, this is the original game on the original hardware. So if you like the good old analog, then yeah. I love RNC2. That's one of my favorite games of all time. Yes, I do think that RNC2 is probably the best game. I do have a lot of love for the Ratchet Clank third installation, but I do think that the second one basically did everything right, and after that they experimented a lot. I feel RNC3 gets too more shooting focus. Yeah, a little bit. Although, not the worst thing. I do think that with RNC3, it basically started to... With RNC3, they basically started to go into this mission type thing more, which I don't like that much. Like, they started to do the missions where you have one little area and have to do the missions all over, which was basically then adapted into the fourth installation, like in full blown. So that's why I prefer Ratchet Clank 2 over Ratchet Clank 3. But it's a very close second place, because I still think that both of these games, Ratchet Clank 2 and Ratchet Clank 3, are very close when it comes to what they did well, what they did right. Yeah, Ratchet Clank 3 still like it a lot, but 2 is by far my favorite. One I like because it's more simplistic. Yeah, as I was talking about earlier, I played this game. I got this for my 11th birthday. Ratchet Clank 1, I got it for my 11th birthday. And it was my only game until I was 12. And when I was 12, I got Ratchet Clank 2. So Ratchet Clank 1 is basically the very first PlayStation game I really extremely overplayed. You can strafe an RNC1, right? Yes. Basically your only option is a side flip, which obviously is not great. But if you can only play with strafing, that's your best option, to just side flip. It is very annoying to not have it. I'm a 90s kid. I grew up with SNES, PS1, and 64, Mega Drive, etc. Yeah, my grandma had a NES and SNES. So at my family, we also had a dusty old N64, which I refurbished actually, and am also probably gonna play at some point. Do you remember Spyro? I do remember Spyro. I did not really play it. My nephew played it a lot. But I do remember playing with him a little bit when he needed help with some boss fights and stuff. But I did not actually really play Spyro, sadly. That's also a thing I'm probably in my quote-unquote career as a VTuber. I will probably at some point get into Spyro, because I do want this retro aspect to be part of me. But it's not currently on my soon-to-be played list. You're cool. I love watching people play retro games. Oh, thank you, first of all, for the compliment. And then you are in great company, because I will have I am so stupid, I did this twice now. I will be playing retro games as a very core part. So I have currently Ratchet Clank Monday. So if you show up on Monday, you will always have Ratchet Clank for the next probably... Let me think about it a little bit. I am at session 3 with Ratchet Clank 1. I am halfway through. So let's say that's 6 sessions. And there are like at least 5 more games. So yeah, probably the next at least 30 weeks, I would say, are Ratchet Clank Monday. I play Ratchet Clank Rift Apart. It was good, but to be honest, the Ratchet Clank games lately feel like they are going through the motion and more of the same. I like that you are switching your games up. At least you are not only playing Fortnite over and over again like most streamers. Oh wow, we have a VR headset. I have a Quest 3 headset. Nice. My neighbor and good friend Frozen also has the Quest 2 something. So I did actually play some games with him, and I also, that's the second of 3 parts of what I want to go for in content. I have the Retro Monday, which will be Ratchet Clank for the next 30 weeks. And I also have VR Saturday. Yeah, it's really cool playing shooter on VR headset. It is awesome. I actually did play the After the Fall, if that rings a bell for you. And I am going to play Slime Rancher, the VR mode, next. So yeah, if cozy games are something you like, I also really like doing cozy games. I played the Doom games on it. That's so cool. I play a lot of pinball on VR too. Yeah. Actually, I don't know about a pinball app, so wait, let me note that down real quick. Pinball VR sounds interesting. Where is it? I put it here. Pinball VR and Doom VR, you say? Noted. Because that sounds like something interesting. Pinball FX VR, it only came out this year. Oh, okay. Check it out. Absolutely will. That sounds like a very interesting game to play. Although I do know that I will probably only make, at least for pinball, like one stream where I will try to get as high of a score as possible. Because obviously pinball is a little bit of a niche thing to play. But I do want to check it out. When it comes to VR, I am an enthusiast, I think you call them. I bought the HTC Vive, like the first model, I think, or one of the first models. And I am currently using the XR Elite, which, while pricey, is one of the best choices I have ever made. And yeah, I really hope that VR becomes a lot more accessible for many people, because it just is... I can only recommend it. And with the less cable management, with each generation and everything getting better, it's gonna be so cool if everyone just plays VR, in my opinion. My favorite genres are shooter and horror. Let me quickly deal with this. Do you have a schedule yet? Any goals for streaming? Yes, you can either see the schedule on Twitch itself, or you can follow me on either Twitter or Blue Sky, whatever you prefer, or maybe both even. And I will post a schedule every Sunday, or at least I try to. And currently I do have for this week, because I have a lot of stuff on the weekend, I have shifted my VR Saturday to Thursday, and I will probably I would have to check my calendar. There is a day where I have to shift it around, but in general, it is Monday is retro gaming. So currently Ratchet Clank, the full series. And on Saturday is VR Saturday. So do you like D&D? Play Baldur's Gate 3? Yes, I did play Baldur's Gate 3. My group that I was playing with actually, yeah, kinda fell apart a little bit. We were 3 people and currently none of them is really playing Baldur's Gate. And D&D, I was like, we had one DM that organized this stuff, and the DM is currently living somewhere completely different, so organizing that is really is not happening currently. I did try to start organizing stuff like that, but I just currently I'm really my schedule is full basically. My private schedule is full. Yeah, I'm still in Act 1 as a Dragonborn, I need to finish it. I can only recommend finishing it because I am stuck in like shortly before the final boss, and there's been so much time invested into the campaign, but the players just are currently not playing the game. The people I played with are currently not playing the game. Oops. Any multiplayer games you'd like playing? Actually a lot of games I like to play in multiplayer more than single player, but I do not currently have any actual multiplayer games that I play. One of the things is basically
Oops.
Cutscene?
Now where's that fighter?
Right there in that locked garage. One tourist crashes a jet and wham! Lawsuit.
That lock is unlike any I have seen.
Very astute observation, Mr. Shiny. I can't open it either. I don't trust the tourist, and the board of directors don't trust me. So we have a little problem.
We have a little problem. I just want the O2 mask. So if you can't open up the lock, that's your problem. Now cough up the mask.
Well, I can see that you really wanted to fly our jet. So I'll tell you what. Go talk to Bob at his Robo Shack. He knows about these locks.
Yeah, so on the games I currently play, if I play something, I play with a friend of mine that is currently very stressed out because of his because of uni, because he's writing his bachelor, and I usually play multiplayer games with him so he can calm down. Other than that, I play on stream only basically because my time schedule is just full, and yeah, there's not a lot of space where I play multiplayer games currently. But I do like multiplayer and especially co-op games. So yeah.
Well, what a week off.
Understand. What are your hobbies?
Watch it. I recognize that word.
Video gaming, obviously,
Yeah, ain't you?
but I am a software developer and I do some research in my free time as well. So basically a lot of stuff that I can do with computers.
Fighter garage?
Ah, you know about those gizmos, huh? Well, it sure as heck will. It's got a real special power slam move built right in.
It's a good thing I need this to get to that jet, or you'd be out of luck, pal.
Yeah, I also forgot that I had the goal of not talking in cutscenes. Doing very well on that, as one can hear. But yeah, hobbies, a mix of everything that you can basically do with a computer. My hobbies are movies, traveling, exercise, space, dinosaurs and dragons. That are quite a lot of hobbies. I am quite envious that you can actually juggle them all. So yeah, I am more of a homebody, basically. I do get out, but yeah, most of the stuff is video game and development related. So technically, if I get some time in at some time, you are so cool. Thank you. Yeah, but I usually, if I don't have my job or am playing video games, I'm usually just developing some stuff for myself, or just hanging out in other people's streams sometimes. That's also a thing I do sometimes. But yeah, we need the thruster pack for getting any further in this game, so we will buy it.
I've got it. I'll have you fixed up faster than a horny toad a hopping. Well, there you are, little buddy. Better than new. That's right, I am the man.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, Ratchet's still a little bit mad that Clank basically sold him out for. Just wondering if you are interested in joining a Discord community I'm in. I've been there for 3 years now and I know my friends there would love to meet you. We hang out, watch movies, anime, play D&D and on weekends and other games together. Are you interested? I actually am already in a lot of communities, so I don't think I really have the time to join another community.
You will need a Blargian pilot's helmet to operate this jet fighter. Our scanners do not indicate such a device on this planet.
But thank you for the offer. I do appreciate it. But yeah, as my current schedule stands, I already basically have to, if I can make the streams that I currently am streaming, if I can't make them on the days I usually stream, I have very limited ability to move them around already. And if I added even one more thing I do regularly, then I would have to probably cancel one of the streams entirely, which I don't want right now, because I do think that my current rotation of 3 games, where Retro Monday, VR Saturday, and a General Friday is a perfect balance of everything I want to do. So yeah, not currently interested, but thank you for the offer. I do what's my called? I don't currently have my own Discord as well, for multiple reasons where I disagree with Discord. Well, I wish you the best of luck. Thank you. I try my best. Maybe in a few years, when Germany decides to be a little bit more sensible and enter the 4-day work week, where everyone gets the same money for working 1 day less, I might be... Yes, I'm from Germany. I might be able to do stuff again where it takes like another day of the week where I can actually do stuff. Because obviously, or if it wasn't obvious before, I live alone. So I also have to take care of all my chores myself. Which means I need... Basically Monday is streaming day. After I stream, I basically immediately go to bed. I have a little bit of a... What would you call it? A little bit of a... benefit. A little bit of a benefit with my work, where I can say, okay, I will work on Monday for 9 hours instead of 8. So I can work at another day for 7 hours instead of 8. And that basically... Alright, I need to put the water back. Yeah, work can be hard to fit in with streaming. Absolutely, it was basically the one thing where I had to decide how I want to do streaming. And basically, I decided, okay, I will work. My Monday is basically nothing else can happen on Monday. There is literally no time for doing anything else on Monday. Because I will wake up, do my work, then start the stream basically immediately. And yeah, it's not... I will immediately go to bed because it is quite exhausting, my work. I am responsible for multiple customers, some of them with thousands of employees, and if I make a mistake, thousands of employees might be out of work for that day. So that's a little bit exhausting. Yeah, where can we... Oh, I'm unemployed right now, so it's easy to do a lot of things, but when I worked at it was pretty tight fitting stuff in. Absolutely, yes. Working is basically the bane of the modern bane of existence. I don't think it's going to be too long for all the more capitalistic countries to start changing how their work policies work, because at this rate you cannot expect society to keep working like that. There is something that needs to change, because obviously even if you get new workforce from the outside, there's also there are multiple reasons why getting all of your workforce from outside of the country is a bad thing, because first of all you're taking workforce from the other countries, so you are technically stealing workforce from those countries, and on the other hand you can sustain your own country if you are dependent on other countries. That's not a thing that works, and there will be the day that this will be realized by the people and by the government, and they will have to completely restructure how our society works, or at least get rid of the stupid stuff, which is working yourself to your death. And I hope this realization will come sooner than later, because I would absolutely enjoy having a life next to my work. So yeah, I just hope those kind of things will get better, because currently I am working my 40-hour work week. I completely planned out my Monday. There is nothing I can do on Monday if I in the way I structured my week, basically, where I will stream on Monday, go to bed, get up on Tuesday, get up on Tuesday, where Tuesday I will do basic stuff like laundry and stuff like sweeping the floors. Worst part is if something breaks, I will have to work on that thing in a time where I do other stuff, basically. I can't even repair my own stuff currently without moving a stream, probably, because I do have my Tuesday with laundry and sweeping floors. I usually don't get all of the floors in day one. So that's sometimes a thing for Thursday as well. Wednesday is usually my Japanese classes. I have Japanese classes on Thursday, and the rest of the evening I watch anime with my neighbor. And yeah, Thursday is basically the other stuff where I sweep the rest of the floor. I will usually God damn it. This is not what I want to do. But yeah, basically what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. Sweeping the rest of my floors, probably preparing some stuff for Japanese classes, because after Japanese classes usually we get some homework, which I don't necessarily need to do and will only take a little bit of time, but I do account for it. And I usually on those days, on a Thursday, if I'm done with everything, I will be playing with my buddy. That is, oh, wait, how do I do this? Alright, Outer Ring has 2. Yeah, so I will usually try to play with my buddy to cheer him up a little bit. So that's the day where I would probably have the most potential time. This is also why I have, for this week, moved my Thursday, or my VR Saturday on Thursday. So yeah. And then if I have some special stuff other than that, I like this week where I have to move stuff, I will just have to cancel some of my streams. I also Friday I take the 7-hour stuff. I'm able to save on Friday so that I can go shopping before my stream. And then I will stream until it's basically time to go to bed, because I have a very regular sleep schedule. So yeah, I will be sleeping at like 12 AM because I am extremely tired from the work. And the next day is already VR Saturday, where I will be waking up at around 9 AM. Sometimes I wake up later because I am still extremely exhausted. And Sunday is basically the only day where I kinda have a little bit of free time again. But even that is basically, there's not a lot to do, because on Sunday everything is closed in Germany, so nothing really where I can do anything. So that day is usually also just playing with other people that I usually play with. But mostly it's mostly just me hanging out with people on Sunday. But it's yeah, it's not really, it's the only default thing I do basically. I could probably organize it a little bit in a way, but I also have like other communities where sometimes they will do stuff on Sunday. So it's either Thursday or Sunday, basically, where I can actually do stuff, and usually there's already some stuff queued up. And if I have, for example, like this week, where I have a concert where I will go to, then it will basically cut into the other stuff I do, so I will have to do chores that I usually would do on Thursday and Friday. I will have to do at a later date, and yeah, there already is not really too much time, so it's currently not very easy.
Hey, what are you doing here?
I'm searching for a very elusive and secret substance.
Raritanium?
Maybe.
The oceans on this planet are said to be an excellent source of that element.
Well, not anymore. All that toxic dumping has obscured any trace of it. You will find raritanium for me.
No, I will not.
Piece of junk. My latest invention, the Persuader. I intended to use it to control minds, but, well, the only thing it's gotten me so far is a discount from Gadgetron vendors.
Hey, I could use that.
Well, I'll trade it for some raritanium.
I believe planet Hoven is a source of that element.
Our long-range sensors do not detect raritanium on this planet. Our database indicates that the best place to locate this mineral is on planet Hoven.
Yeah, so this guy tried to hypnotize us and sell us some stuff, but his invention kinda sucks. It does give us a discount though, when we use it on Gadgetron's little buy stations. So yeah, we will trade his invention for a little bit of raritanium, which we cannot get here, but on a different planet, which we have not yet discovered.
I
So
got some great bargains for you today.
everything that we can do currently is go to the other planet, which we have discovered earlier, the Blood Depot on Jasper. So we go to Jasper and find that pilot ham, so we can destroy those toxic waste-dropping ships. Yeah, so this is a kind of lava world where we will be going through. We can get two things. I can't quite remember if the second route we can go is a...
Hi there, Fuzzball.
I can't quite remember what the second round is, but we will go there first. I do want to swap back to my helipad, because the helipad is actually not that bad if you are kinda having trouble with a little of the jump and run. It does have quite a lot more easier movement, in my opinion. So if you have trouble with movement, swap back to the helipad. You don't need to keep the jetpack the whole time. It's only for the switches, in my opinion. We can get a skill point if we destroy the ships in the air. However, I don't see any ship right now. There. I don't know how many exactly we need to destroy, but yeah, we can destroy them, and we do get a skill point if we do that enough. We could just aim here and sit here for a while, so if you are... yeah, if you are buying this yourself, you could just put a pin in your controller and aim at the general direction, and you will destroy the ships. I did notice that some of the stuff I thought was skill point worthy. Okay, we still get the skill points, because I noticed that some of the stuff I tried and thought would give skill points didn't give skill points. So I was kind of worried that they might not be accessible at the moment right now. But yeah, I think. Oh. But getting this skill point was a nice little reminder that we actually already can get these skill points, which is very nice. It's good to know. I have no idea why I can't. Oh, okay, that's why. Okay, we need to shoot down this. I thought that the thing I aimed at, I looked at, was a way up, basically. But that's a way down, actually, after the thing. You are sneaky little bastard. Yeah, I thought that the way to go was over there, but it was in fact not the way to go. Come on. Alright. We have these little bombs here, which are extremely annoying and actually kind of dangerous, which is why I tried to remove them beforehand. They are basically, if you go too close to them, they become homing bombs, which will home in on you and try to explode you, and you cannot really destroy them with your wrench, but you will basically, yeah, if you don't destroy them before they activate, they will explode in your face and you can't really do anything about it. And there are quite a lot of them, so I recommend to just get rid of them as soon as possible. They can be quite hidden, especially on the graphics from the old PlayStation 2, because this is, at the end of the day, quite the dark environment, or at least a dark backdrop. And if they, like this one, this was very hard for me to see. I do know that they are there. Like this guy over here. I don't think that he's very visible right now. So it can be quite annoying, because they are really hidden. And yeah, if you notice them too late, if they start chasing you, you can basically already account that damage for. So yeah, might not be the easiest level in my opinion. But if I remember correctly, there isn't a lot of them up ahead anymore. I almost fell down in the lava. Or maybe they come back later. But the enemies on this level consist of a little faster doggos, small and faster doggos, these guys, which are still very easily to deal with if you use the... Oh, as I said, they might be... Okay, they have all activated at once. Oh boy. Yeah, this is basically what I meant. There's at least one hit that you will take if you activate them, and they activated. They locked in. But yeah, we dealt with that pretty okay. I hope they don't come back. So we will go over here where these guys are. They are basically using a rocket launcher, and they will now jump left and right, like I just demonstrated. But if you use the Devastator, they are actually quite easy to deal with. You just need to aim a little bit. And this guy is so close that I can just bonk him and he will just go away. We will get our stuff back. So yeah, we're still good. Over there are more of them. I will immediately remove them. And now I am out of rockets, so I will swap over to the Glove of Doom to deal with anything that might be still in there, like these guys. Could you please remove them for me? Thank you. But yeah, this level, I think there's another skill point that we can get here by just destroying these computers. I think they need to be in this state. So just completely destroying them to the ground. Never mind, no skill point, I guess. Could have sworn there was a skill point for that. We also can use this gun to destroy the little metal boxes over here. Yeah. I think we are right. This is the landing site that we saw in the infobot video. Over there are still more of those bomb guys, which I will be doom-gloving away. Okay, they take only one. They only need one hit. I wasted a little bit of ammo. That's not that problematic. And we are grabbing our pilot hat.
Now this is cool.
Yeah, so we got the pilot helmet. Other than looking pretty cool right now, there's nothing really we can get. It is used for every type of battle ship we can control in the game. So yeah, whenever there is a battleship like on Poketaru, we will be using this helmet. Okay, I now know where to go for the other thing that we can do on this planet. I was wondering how we get there, but apparently we just jump down over there. It is as easy as that. Yeah, so we just jump down here. This sinking platforms, I think. So we do have to be fast about it. And there's also the hook shot that we need. So we will be hookshotting our way over here. This is one of the now a little bit rarer, really dangerous platforming sections. But usually each level has like two paths, one combat path and one jump and run path. Usually the combat path is the path that you want to take for the story advancing, and everything else is a bonus. Alright, so I will be concentrating a little bit more because the jump and run parts with delay are actually kind of hard. Yeah. But yeah, here is a little... I do like the implication that we are now, without it being explicitly stated, we are destroying the fighting bombers from Drax's fleet. So they are refueling and... whoops. They are refueling, and by blowing up the fuel pipes, we actually save a lot of people by just destroying these currently probably empty bombing ships. So technically this is... it still is optional, technically, to explode them. They are technically just here for flavor. However, I seem to remember that destroying them all also grants a skill point. Because specifically that one I just destroyed down there was out of reach for your normal gameplay if you don't look for it. So if you don't destroy that, you will not complete the skill point requirement. If I remember correctly. Could also be that I remember it wrong and there is no skill point, which would be extremely embarrassing right now. Do I get over there? I do. Okay. I probably have to get around here. I have to go around here. Wait. How do I get over there? Probably like this. Now that I look at it, probably like this. Yeah. Destroying military equipment that is used for bombing civilians. That is always a good thing. Because bombing civilians is wrong in any situation. Okay. I seem to have missed one of them. Either I've missed one, or there really is no skill point to get. Quite sad, actually. And we did this all for a gold bolt, apparently. Which is still something we obviously want, but I did think that there was like something bigger here, but I guess I just remembered it wrong. Now let's see, this seems to maneuver us through the whole thing again, and I can't really see any more bomb ships. There does not seem to be any more military equipment we actually can destroy. So either I remembered it completely wrong, or I am blind and can't find the last military ship. Yeah, can't really... Oh, over there is still one. I guess I forgot one at the very start. Which is quite annoying because I will have to do everything again. Like completely everything. Except maybe I might be able to just jump in the lava and get back. Well, yeah, I got the skill point. Well, maybe I can actually just dive in the lava and get back up. Yes, perfect, okay. I don't have to do everything again. That is such a relief. Such a relief. I remember that there is like a very weird way to get this gold bolt up there, where I can use the geometry. But it is meant to be like there is like an underground path somewhere. I think. Was it underground path or is it in the second installment? I can't remember. But yeah, you can technically glitch yourself up here. There is like a way to glitch up there. I don't quite remember though where it was exactly. We'll come back for that later. There is a lot that we can do that is a lot more productive than just jumping, trying not to jump up there. We can, for example, get back to the Jovai resort. We don't have the Raritanium yet, so we will just go for the fight, for the air fight, for the dog fight, and remove all the toxic waste disposal ships that, funny enough, I've never really thought about it, but we are shooting down the ships that will land in the ocean. You know, the ships that produce the toxic waste. Which means we will be dropping all the toxic waste into the ocean. I don't think that is actually a smart thing. But I'm not the expert. So I will be doing some flying.
Press the square button to fire the machine guns, and press the circle button to fire the enemy missiles. Go faster. Shoot down those small enemy ships to get more missiles.
Yeah, so we can actually quite fast destroy the toxic droppers. We can also just use our machine gun, but the rockets do help. And you can do this funny little thing where you just fly towards the container ships and do a little rocket barrage while you fire the machine gun. And they will more or less just dissolve in front of you. We will be intercepted by Blarg ship sometimes. They drop ammo and health, so as long as you don't ignore them, you will not have any trouble surviving. You can ignore them for some time before it gets really important to deal with them. But they usually, yeah, they hang out, they just do their thing, and yeah. So dealing with them, I will just ignore this guy. I will just completely destroy this ship and then we are done here. But yeah,
Well,
nothing
I
really.
guess that should do it. Here you go.
It's about time.
not really anything that that is too obtrusive. Now, there is a skill point that I could grab now, however, that would take me ages. It already takes ages if you know what tool to use, and we don't have that tool right now, so we will be ignoring any further stuff that is here. And we will go to probably the most anxiety-inducing level of the game, because of all the things, of all the levels, I do think the worst one is Oxen done with Ratchet. Because the enemies at that point are extremely dangerous, because they can deal very fast damage. So the only thing that is really... the only option you really have is destroy all the enemies from afar. There are few ranged enemies, but the ranged enemies that will appear are extremely hard to destroy. So yeah, we will probably have some problems here.
Hi there, Fuzzball.
There also is nothing I want to buy right now, because the Visibomb is nice to have, but not really necessary here. It is necessary if you want to 100% the level, but we don't need to do that right now. The bomb glove is the decoy glove. There's a glove that deploys decoys. That is really not necessary here. And yeah, maybe you've just seen what will be my main problem in this level. There is a certain type of enemy. Oh yeah, I forgot these ones too. But they are actually not too bad. And this is also a level where the, how is it called? Taunter gets really important, more or less. Or is really a great help, because these electric fences are damaging to the enemies. These guys don't seem to care, so I will have to go on without anything. They do attack quite fast, so we have to be careful, like really careful. And the whole level has these little blue guys, like that one over there, that are going to wake up the sleeping crabs. And these crabs are not friendly. In fact, they are extremely dangerous. So we want to avoid that little blue fella to cry for help. And we do that by murdering him. So yeah, these crab guys wake up when the blue guy starts crying. And as you can see, they take quite a lot of damage. So we don't want like 3 of them to wake up at once and just obliterate us, because they are attacking so fast that you will probably not be able to do any damage before they kill you. There is like little you can actually do to prevent that from happening. Now this is basically the part where the game gives you a little autosave. So if you mess up, you will respawn here, and you will probably mess up a lot. In my experience, you will mess up a lot, because yeah, they are deceptively dangerous. And there's also over there you see an infobot. fun fact, you will not get that info bot over there. You will be doing a lot of stupid stuff before you even can consider getting that info bot. We will try to get that info bot right now. But first, let me grab some ammo, because at this point we are actually quite low on ammo in every weapon. And I don't think that the ammo crates in this level are as plenty as they are usually. So yeah, I will do my best to not mess this up too much. I do want to say beforehand that these controllers at the time were sometimes they sometimes had a mind of their own. We will not wake them up. I will ignore them. I usually kill them, but there is no reason to do that right now. In fact, there is a reason to not do it, because if they wake up while I kill them, I am in what you could call a goddamn danger zone, and they will eat me alive. So, better not risking that. We will just go along, use our Magna boots to travel along this air vent, and we make it to this section where we will get killed by this goddamn birds that honestly are perfectly placed there to exactly do that. So yeah, hurdle number 1, as you have seen, is these birds that are flying up there. And I don't think you actually can shoot them down with anything else but the Visibomb, but the Visibomb is actually not too easy to hit them with, so yeah. What I will do instead is I will use my blaster from now on and just ignore these enemies. And yeah, we will be doing a lot of enemy ignoring. Because this level is, in my opinion, white bullshit. Yeah. But the lore, basically the lore implications is that this planet has been so extremely polluted that the flora and fauna have mutated a lot, and there are some... Wait, can I? Oh, I can do that. Right, I can just get them out of the air with this. So I will try to do that more often. But the implication is that the pollution of this planet from the industry has been so bad that everything mutated and the planet is uninhabitable. And this is the home planet of Foreman Drag, or how he was called. So yeah, we are currently on his home planet that was polluted. And we are trying to get some of the stuff that is on this planet. Where, for example, the Magna boots were one of the stuff that we really needed. Yeah, and this is the reason why the Taunter is actually pretty dope to have here. Because you can just get those crabs, make them go into the fence, in the electric fence, and they will just destroy themselves. There is nothing if they get taunted, they do not understand the flaw of running into an electric fence, and they will do it again. Okay, now we need to get rid of those birds without dying, which is quite manageable, but yeah, sometimes not as easy. Now over there, if I remember correctly, is one of those blue guys somewhere behind the corner. So I will be throwing some of our Doom dudes. I hope I got at least a lot of them. I will throw another Doom dude. Yeah. Ah, that was my mistake. Oh no! These guys are apparently not fuckable with the suck cannon. I did not know that. That's actually news to me. Okay. Yeah, the infobot is still trying to flee from us. And it still has a lot of room where it can run from us. So yeah, we will still need to go on for it. Okay. So over there is again one of those blue guys, I think. Yeah, that's a blue guy. Really hard to spot on the background. Like, it looked a lot like a flower. But if you know he's there, then you can easily spot him. But I do think that it's quite evil that they decided to go ahead and put them in spots where you can basically not really see them. It is... Alright. This is a blocked up entrance that we could have bombed free with the Visibomb. I decided not to do that right now because we can come back later at some other time and do that. Because it does take a lot of skill and I don't want to sit here for like 3 hours trying to get this gold bolt. Yeah. Alright, thank you for demonstrating that you actually can attack through the electric fence. I was not aware of that, and this could have gone really bad. So, yeah. Good thing I still have some health left. But that was... Yeah, I think you can understand why I hated this level. Especially as a kid. You're like 11 years old. Already sitting like 8 hours on this game, on this level, trying to... Oh no. Yes, so this guy is not cool. Basically the only option you have is to shoot him down with either the Visibomb or the Devastator. Because you will not deal enough damage with your blaster, to be honest. There will not be enough damage output. So having the Devastator is at this point a must, but as I said earlier, I can only recommend it anyways. It's the best weapon you can get economically. So there's no reason to not have the Devastator at this point. Okay, I think this is the start of the level, so I will not hover down there. would not make sense in any ways. And we are at the end of the line for our little Infobot friend. Because there's nothing really that he can do now.
Hello again, everyone. Supreme Executive Chairman Drek here to fill you in on our progress. We have now found the perfect orbit for our planet, one which will allow for the optimum temperature all year round. However, there is a planet now occupying that orbit, and sadly, for its few insignificant inhabitants, it must be destroyed. That's why we've created this! The Planet Buster Maximus, a device capable of blowing an entire planet into subatomic particles. We're quite proud of it. Here's how it works. We attach the Planet Buster to this ship, fly it into orbit around the planet, and let it go! Kaboom! Quite ingenious, really. Once our trained professionals put the finishing touches on our new planet, everything will be complete. Thank you. Goodbye.
Now this guy's gonna blow up an entire planet? That's just mean.
That's what I've been telling you.
Look, I'm still gunning for Quark. If we end up taking out Drek too, hey, fine. What?
You do care.
Don't push it, pal.
Yeah, so we now got the coordinates for Planet Hoven. We also got a little extra path that we can now go through. I don't remember there being anything important in that cave other than something that we will still discover. So yeah, we will go the other path now. We won't immediately swap to Hoven, because actually the stuff we can get is really good. So basically one of the most important upgrades we can get, and that I will get. There's a reason why I am still saving loads of bolts, even when we have the best weapon, in my opinion. Because, one, the other weapons are not really worth investing if you don't extremely like playing with them. And there is another thing that is very important that we will try. Well, we won't have enough bolts to buy it completely, but we can buy it in parts. So I will at least buy part 1 of the thing that I want to get, and yeah, the other will be... No, I did not want to. Why can't I jump? I can't. Leave me. Let me go. Thank you. Yeah. I will be grabbing that upgrade because it is extremely important. Now we still have finished all the enemies that were here, because we didn't do that last time. Now the enemies have respawned. That's the only reason why I did this, because I wanted to demonstrate that the enemies respawn. That's the headcanon for this one now. Oh, they actually don't respawn, I lied. Not only did I fall down, I also lied. In fact, I just wanted to show that the enemies don't respawn. Now that's a story that I can tell. Alright, so we are going this way. We immediately encounter one of the rocket ships, which are so extremely dangerous. But this one apparently has a blind spot here, so we will abuse that. And they take 3 Devastator rockets, which I will immediately rebuy, because why wouldn't I? There's literally no reason to not rebuy them. Whoop. Could you please aim at that? Thank you. So there is one of the enemies that are only on this path up here. It's one of the guys with the flamethrower that we saw earlier in the thingamabob, how is it called? The Blark Station. So he does make a appearance in this level too. We also want to go up here because there is nothing. So I will just destroy this, grab this and this, and our Omni branch actually has a little magnetic function where I will grab those and then leave immediately because I do not want anything to do with them. I will take damage at this bomb because I am stupid. There is a reason I added to my character design the little hair on top. If you're not familiar with the anime trope of ahoge, not to be confused with oh, I don't remember the ahegao. Not to be confused with ahegao. The ahoge is a little strain of hair on a character to signify that he is indeed a kind of an idiot. Which perfectly encapsulates me. Alright. I remember that there will be another rocket ship waiting for us, and I am kinda low on health. So I will gladly accept this little health thingy and immediately jump over here instead of going over the path of the bobbing platforms, because this one is actually really annoying. I can only recommend to try to position yourself in a way where you can side jump, fire the rocket and get back, because there's not really a place to hide. So yeah, if you do it right, you can yikes. If you do it right, you can get through here with 0 damage. I obviously fumbled that a little bit. There's also, I noticed, a little bit of a camera lock on that platform, so that as well is kind of not too easy on the gameplay. I don't see any of the loud bird thingies, the yappers. So I just hope that there will not be any. Oh yeah, this is a little thing where we again can get a skill point. So we can see that there's a little pipeline here where we actually can aim through with our blaster and just kill the loud guy. So that gave us a skill point. There's also a lot of these traps here, which we will promptly take care of. Okay, that guy immediately exploded. Now I don't think there's any kind of crit system in Ratchet Clank. Oh god, I messed up, I messed up. Ooh, that was close. Anyways, we did quite clear this very well. There is still the stupid bird that we will take care of. And I think there's not a lot of stuff I can do now. Other than heal myself. Thank God that there was a health pack here. I do remember having lots of trouble with all these parts. Nowadays it's okay. So we have again lots of stuff over here. This time those guys will not get over here because there's this little gap. I do, however, think that there is another gunship waiting for us, which I will outplay by throwing our Doom Bros. So we can take care of the ship without worrying about the crabs. Okay, I guess the ship is later down the line. So I didn't even have to do that, but it was more comfortable anyways, so yeah, no real problem with that. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that the ship, or not, or you guys will be here, that's fine too. Is there really not? I really thought there was going to be a gunship. Okay, but yeah, I guess that's fine too. I don't mind. If it's easier, I don't mind. And we will grab a very important upgrade here.
This is a premium nanotech dispenser. You can purchase a can to increase your maximum health.
Yes, so the bane of our existence, only having 3 hits before the last hit and we will die. Now we can upgrade. Yeah, one additional hit, which is already really strong. Like, we got a 25% increase in our health. We can get hit one more time, which is extremely important, in my opinion, as an upgrade.
This dispenser also carries Ultra Nanotech, the very latest in Gadgetron technology. Ultra Nanotech is 3 times more potent than Premium Nanotech.
Yes, so basically we did buy the cheap version of this health upgrade for 4,000. The very strong version, which will give us 3 additional hit points. So we got 8 of these little bubbles up there. But we will get 3 of them for 3,000. Which is the only reason I will be saving bolts from now, because there is not really any other weapon I want to grab right now. And the extra health really is helpful in a lot of moments. I also think there's a skill point for upgrading. I am not sure though. And if you've noticed, Ratchet is not wearing the O2 mask anymore. This is because this specific room has kind of a atmosphere, like a what's it? Artificial atmosphere. This room has an artificial atmosphere, so obviously Ratchet trying to drink a drink that, yeah, not going through the O2 mask. So they needed to make a little room where there's no toxin, which is really... I don't think this is lore compliant, because that would mean they just, yeah, they left this room. Just, this is basically the only room with breathable air on the entire planet, presumably. So not really. Better not think too much about it. But we can return here anytime once we get the money. So yeah, we will be farming a little bit more money in the meantime, and other than that, I think there is one thing we can still do, which is going up here. I think we can get something up here. Yeah. So this was inaccessible before with Clank. Clank couldn't get over here. But as Ratchet, we can over here look a little bit into this room, which apparently doesn't load the walls if we look into it from here. Yeah. But that's a little of a bonus platform. And I can't remember, I think one of these... No. Okay. I thought that one of these holes may be having something in there that was of interest, but apparently not. So, we did almost everything that is to do on this planet. So we will go to the next one. If we look here, we didn't find any of the gold bolts, which is fine. We will come back for them later. But currently we want to go back to... No, not back, but we want to go to Hoven, where we get at least two things. We know that one is we will destroy the rocket, and two, we will grab the Raritanium. So we will try to grab the Raritanium first, because I do like the jump and run part a lot. Hoven is one of the more mid-levels, but I
That
do...
must be the ship that will transport the bomb.
You think? Great work, Detective.
Yeah, I do think that the jump and run part of this level is
Double
great.
tap the R1 button to activate hover, and hold the L2 or R2 button to strafe from side to side.
Yeah, so they are basically recommending to use the rocket pack. I do know that the rocket pack will help us here because of the ice physics. So I will equip it. But that's very niche to this level, in my opinion. Although I will use it more from now on. I will try to use it more because I know people like it very much, and... Oh, I forgot. I know people like it very much, and I do want to show it off a bit more. Because, yeah, you can go into the hover mode, and the hover mode does not have that strict of ice physics. It is, if you use it normally, it is not as great as just walking, but it is better than to slide on the ice. However, you cannot make any contact with ground stuff, I think. I think tapping the buttons still requires you to get out of the hover mode. So that is a thing that one needs to keep in mind. Apparently something exploded over here. Can't really tell what. Now we need to time this grab, which is obviously very easy. We get introduced to these little ice creatures, which are pretty resilient. They do take a hit more than any other of the small enemies. I also think that you cannot actually... Oh. let me handle this situation a little bit better. Okay, so you can, this is actually the first small enemy that you can suck up, but still need 2 hits with. So keep that in mind when fighting with them, that the suck gun is actually a lot more effective here than to just try to attack them with your melee attack. So yeah, this is a very hard part if you are not using the hover function, because look at this. You will need to get over there without falling down here.
Try using the L2 or R2 button with the left analog stick to straighten.
Oh my god. I barely made it. Okay. That was really not that pleasant, but yeah. It's quite challenging. Actual quite challenging platforming, which I do appreciate.
Oh, heck.
Is there a problem, sir?
Y'all wouldn't have any spare parts, would you?
Help yourself.
These dang rocks are too tough. I keep breaking my drill.
That rock is raritanium.
Let me look at that drill.
Well, shoot my dog and call me Sally. Thanks, partner.
No problem. I suppose I could take that rock off your hands, too.
Heck, here you go.
Yeah, so this gentleman just gave us a rock for repairing his drill by karate chopping it. So, quite a good deal, if I say so myself. And the rock also is a raritanium rock, so it is actually quite valuable. Now, I don't think we have encountered a Gadgetron. Yes, a Gadgetron vendor. A very important weapon, actually, which is partially not a weapon, is the drone device. And I will actually go back on the thing I said earlier, where I don't want to buy any weapons, because this is extremely important. This is your only defense item. Later games have the shield, or at least some type of shield. This game has these drones, and these drones are extremely important. They will be your only line of defense. And if you're not stupid like me, you will actually use them wisely. So this guy has a little problem we will solve right now. And I do remember that there is another skill point that we can get here. We will be here for a while, actually. I think there should still be some around. Because if there weren't, I'm pretty sure there would be... Oh, right, I have to just shoot them out of my gun. Yeah, we get a skill point by just killing these dudes in this area. Because there are plenty, and we don't want them around. I'm having trouble with a basic game mechanic for getting a gold bolt. Yeah, so there is a gold bolt up here, which we gladly take. It also gives us a nice view of the little ice town. And in general, this is a nice viewpoint in my opinion. But we won't hang out here for a long time. We need to do stuff. So we will go and do stuff. Yeah, over there is a bunch of enemies behind those chests, boxes. I also want to quickly add the drone device so I can quickly replenish them. I am still forgetting every time that I need to... Right, first thing, we go up here. This route is optional. Or not 100% optional, but it will make things easier, and or at least for the immediate thing, for the immediate story, it is not immediately necessary. But obviously, good thing to just have it. So we will grab it. We have to do a little water puzzle a la Zelda Water Temple by using our hydro displacer. We can grab these little water supplies, which are looking quite small, quite compact. But if we find the right thing, you will soon realize that there is a lot that we can actually do with that. Because once we put our water in here, the water level rises exponentially. So we will want to grab as much water as we can. We also want to get up here, and at some point we do want to look out, because we can, and I think this is already the point where we can do that. We can go up there where there is a gold bolt, so we do want to come back here as soon as we put in the next water, which, funny enough, there are just these things in some kind of stone, no explanation whatsoever, and it just fills up the cave, which is funny as hell. We cannot return yet because water level is still too low for us to get up there. So we grab this one, and yeah, one funny developer technique, you can see a little bit of this blue thingy down there, which usually people will not see this. So this is nothing I can really criticize, but for somebody like me who likes to be a little bit more thorough, I personally think that this is like a texture. Could be a 2D texture actually, that just goes up to 100% and is currently at 0% or 1%, and it just is there at the moment because, yeah, usually on this screen we have like 480i, which is for end consumers almost the same as 480p. And yeah, you don't really have any real way of seeing that if you're not looking for it. I just got stuck under this rock. Let's get back to business. But yeah, there is absolutely absolutely no reason, if you are like on a time crunch or something, to look back at those kind of things and say, yeah, that has to go, that has to go, because most people will not notice. But if I had the time, obviously, in general, I do think that if you find these things in development, you should write down that they are there and that they can be fixed. Because if you have time to polish the game, people will have less to notice, basically, if they notice. So yeah, if you have the time, definitely try to remove those kind of thingies. But obviously they are far from being anything like a game-breaking bug or something. So obviously this is on the list of priorities. It's very low. It's like the things you do at the complete end, when everything is said and done, the party where you celebrate that the product is ready, you had the party, then you can fix those types of issues. Like, that's how minor this issue is. But I do still think that if you have the time, absolutely try to get rid of stuff like that. But yeah, nobody will ever actually need to criticize stuff like that, because it is not important. It is only then important if you have the time for it. Oh, more of these guys. Got him. So there is a little bit of ammo and stuff that we can still grab here. And I think there is one of these save thingies that we can crack, but I'm not sure. Our target is over there, and if you're familiar with this ornament up there, then you already know what this means. But if you're not, I will not spoil it for right now. Instead, I will just keep grabbing this stuff on the side, because at the end of the day, we do want those 30,000 bolts, if possible, because it is extremely nice to just have that extra health. There's so much health here. But yeah, we will get into this little workshop.
Hey, buddy, what's shaking?
Oh my goodness. Aren't you just a little angel?
Actually, I'm a little robot.
You're funny, too.
Yeah, but looks aren't everything.
You be nice. I think I got something special for you. How would you like a hydro pack upgrade?
That would be quite helpful for swimming underwater.
Whatever.
Yeah, so there is a little hydro pack upgrade that we can get here, and there's not really a reason not to get it. It will be important later.
There you go, sweetie. You look so handsome.
Thank you, miss. Your craftspersonship is excellent.
If you two are through...
Jealous?
You come back and see me any old time.
Your hydro pack will automatically equip when you are swimming. The hydro pack lets you swim against currents.
Yeah, so we can now swim fast. Also, I did not know that the original English version of Ratchet Clank actually had craftspersonship as a word, which is very progressive actually. for the time back then, considering, which is the funniest part. This is still the same game that had the hoverboard hostess, where you can do side flips and grow her chest size. I want to remind that this is the same game. You have an Easter egg where a woman's bust is infinitely growing in size if you do a trick. And it's the same game that respects the craftspersonship. So yeah, think of it whatever you want. Obviously, I think it's a good thing that they said craftspersonship. I don't think it's something that you necessarily need to say, because there is at least in German, you have something called the generic masculinum, which is how the language worked for basically how long it existed. So these are things that will obviously not be immediately adapted, but in general, a generic neutrum if possible, which I think it would be a generic neutrum, is obviously a nice way of inclusive language that you can use. And you don't need to use it, in my opinion. It is, however, something you can do. But I don't blame you if it's a little too... Like, I know that the way these are formulated, it gets into the speech flow, basically, where you have to think about something instead of just saying it. And this can be quite obtrusive. And if you're not used to it, then yeah, it just gets in the way of talking. It gets in the way of communicating. So if it gets in the way of communicating, then in my opinion it's fine to not do it. But obviously it is the more inclusive way to say these kind of things. So yeah, if you can do it, if it's not a hassle for you, if you don't mind using it, then absolutely do use it. But I am also very okay with people that don't use inclusive language, because it is a new thing to learn, and it can be obtrusive if you don't have a handle on it. So yeah, that is my opinion on this. And I do know that there are a lot of people that are very not okay with an opinion like this, and yeah, that's like your opinion, man. I have mine, you have yours, and that is fine. We don't need to hate each other just because of that. So we made it to the final little... This is a mine launcher. I don't want to get near those. But yeah, we made it to the end. We will be going into a turret section, which I am not really a fan of. I do see that there is a little bit of loot over there, but that loot is protected by a mine dispenser. I don't want to deal with it.
We are too late. The ship is leaving.
Hang on. There's an old defense turret over there. Hey, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
I sincerely doubt it.
Yeah, we are getting attacked by a helicopter, which I will take care of immediately. And we want to get over there. Let's destroy this bomber. And we do not have a radar this time around. We will be attacked by helicopters constantly. And we also get attacked by the turrets on the ship, so we have to deal with that whole shenanigans. At the same time, we will be losing health over time, and the worst offenders are the flying helicopters. But we also kinda are under a time limit because of the gun turrets. So yeah, this is kind of annoying. But I do like to do the ends of the ship first, because the helicopters can be everywhere, basically. Okay, I don't have enough health to deal with everything at the same time. So I will just try to get through this and hope for the best. Yes, okay. And we get another infobot.
Men, you are about to embark on a very dangerous mission. We will be launching a heavily armed surprise attack from our new moon base against a completely unarmed planet. Actually, that doesn't sound too dangerous. Nevertheless, your orders are simple. Destroy anything that moves. Steal the power generators from Gorda City. Then destroy anything that doesn't move. Oh, and don't forget, have fun.
We must get to the moon base and stop Drek.
No, we have to get to the moon base to find Quark. If Drek is there, Quark is probably with him.
But Drek is going to destroy that city. We must get to the base.
That's what I said.
No, that is what I said.
Fine.
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 Yeah, so those two bickering and usually disagreeing agreed on the same thing for different reasons. So they were kind of confused. But they are both agreeing on going to the moon base. So we are gonna do just that. And I think we don't have the coordinates for anything else, actually. What side of objectives do we have? There is stuff we can do now that we have the hydro pack. Although I don't want to do it right now, because there is also other stuff later on. Basically, backtracking will be postponed to shortly before the absolute last end boss. So we will continue with the story.
It is time to begin your new assignment.
Ah, a photo op by your shiny new shuttle. Terrific idea.
Oh, you really are an idiot.
What?
You are to take that shuttle to the moon base and ambush those two miscreants when they arrive.
Oh, yes. Who are they again?
Those two!
Oh, of course. There is just one problem. I'm,
Too washed up for ground combat? True. That is why I will be loaning you my starfighter. You can still fly, can't you? It's settled then. You will acquire the starfighter once you get to the moon. Screw this up, and the endorsement deal is off!
But that would ruin me. You wouldn't.
Try me.
I did not see Drek's ship. We must have missed him.
Who knows where Quark is now? If we're gonna catch those two, we need a faster ship.
Perhaps this space station will supply the ship we need.
Well, we're here. Let's go check it out.
Yeah. This soundtrack, in my opinion, one of the most unsettling soundtracks. So yeah, can't recommend listening to this at 2 p.m. 2 a.m. We will see if there's anything new, but I don't think there is anything new. We will stock up on ammo again.
Oh, that's a nice one.
Especially on the drones, because there are a lot of situations where you can basically preemptively use the drones, and we actually can.
Hi there, Fuzzball.
I am unsure what that sound was. I don't know if that sound was in-game, but we can... Oh my god. This soundtrack is extremely unsettling. Like, there are sounds in there that are not great. There are... I do love that the sound designers made these sounds so unsettling that I had to pause the game to see if that sound actually came from the game. This is peak audio design. This game still surprises me after 25 years. Like almost 25 years, it's 23 years now. But this is amazing. Alright, those little guys, we can just tuck them up in the suck cannon. We do remove them like this, because they will obviously deal damage if they come too close, but also I don't want to waste my drones. The drones are for getting backstabbed, basically. I don't want to use them as any offensive tools. So I will try to destroy everything before it can reach me, but they are really nice to have around for anything that does come close to you. So yeah, just removing them like this is really nice. Yeah, we destroy that guy. We also have a lot of bolt boxes lying around here, which is a little annoying to grabbing them. But yeah, there is a point in the game where... or there will be a point in the game where we could grab another weapon, which is, in my opinion, basically just just the upgrade for the better Pyrocyder. However, we will not grab it. It's not necessary to grab, and I don't think it does us too much good at this point in the game. But we can upgrade. We can get that weapon later in the game. Later in this particular level, actually. Alright, I have to do a little bit of brain work here, because, yeah. This one did not turn out that well. We will need to get up here as fast as we can, so we don't get into the range of the machine gun, or more in the range of the machine gun ammo, because I don't know who placed these machine guns like this, but he needs to get fired because, yeah, this guy also needs to get fired, and we will immediately fire him. He has been fired. So, but whoever placed these just didn't think about anything at all. I don't think they have been thinking. I don't think they have been thinking. So, obviously this is from a lore perspective. I am 100% aware that this is for obvious reasons a game design choice. Oh, I see. So this is one of those that have only one solution actually. Because you have to do it in the right way. Interesting. Yeah, so this machine gun actually seems a lot more dangerous now. And I'm actually quite unsure how you are supposed to do it. Oh, okay. There would have been a little trench over here that I did not see, to be honest. But yeah, you could have just jumped down this trench and made a run for it like that. But it worked out fine. We were able to just go to the other side and just make a run for it, which, in my opinion, still valid. The best games are those where you have multiple solutions to the same problem, in my opinion. Alright, now this is a little more of the dangerous area, because as you can see, these little barrels explode when they come in contact with anything that deals damage. Which means we are a little bit limited on what we can shoot and what we can hide behind. There's also a... Oh! Okay, that guy can actually shoot this far. I thought they can't shoot this far, but he can shoot this far. I guess this was basically their solution to... Okay, we need to completely get out of his range. I guess this was their solution to that guy being able to shoot that far, but not being immediately a problem that you can't really solve because you can't aim. Because obviously if they are in the air, the enemies, you will have to aim. There is not really anything you can do. And yeah, the only other thing is to get as far as possible, but that is also, I think, not really possible for the guy that was in this hangar. So yeah, I completely understand that they had to limit his initial range to just go up when the player is standing still trying to aim. So, not a bad game design choice, although there would have probably been a better type of enemy for this situation that they could have come up with. But I am not... I wasn't there when this game was done, so I have no idea what the idea in general was behind that. And since the game has been developed in 2000 or before 2002 and released in 2002, I don't think they will be able to tell me what they were thinking. But I do appreciate that they thought about balancing it in this way, because it's still a nice and interesting enemy. So this is one of these cases where we will activate the drones first. Oh, never mind. This is not yet the thing I was thinking about. But we will be seeing that elevator again, and we will... Oh no. This is really bad. Okay, but the save point is right here. I guess this is also one of the things where the developers thought to themselves, okay, this is a thing that many people will struggle the first time, and apparently I am people. So yeah, I guess this was like a, okay, many of us just jumped in there and fell and died, so maybe we shouldn't do it like that. Maybe we should give the player a safe spot. Over there is a gold bolt, which is only accessible if you have the Visibond, so we will not be doing that right now. Other than that, we need the swing shot again. We will be put into a very difficult situation, which I will be solving with the Doomglow, because I will be jumping around like a maniac, trying to avoid them, and my Doom Bros will just take care of it. Easy peasy. No problemo at all. Now we again have no drones, so we will activate the drones. And this is one of the reasons that the drones are actually really cool to have, because you cannot really have a active weapon. Yikes, this was close. You cannot really have an active weapon. Okay, I don't think this was meant to happen. That sucked. I don't know what happened, but I will accept it and just rush a little more. Swing shot over there. Try to remove them. Alright, so we are back at this point. Ignore that I fell into the lava. I have no idea why I had a movement like that. But yeah, I will be just doing this. I did use, because the camera and the controls are sometimes kind of ass, so oh, can you explode yourself? No, you can't. Fuck you. Yeah, because the camera sometimes is really messy, and the control stick sometimes is a little hard to aim at the perfect direction, basically, which you sometimes need. I am not a smart man. But yeah, it's sometimes hard to control the game, so I can sometimes recommend to just use the camera and the D-pad, so that you just say, alright, I press up, and that will always follow the camera. But in this case, it kind of backfired on me. So maybe not the perfect area to do it. But it will usually be easier. That was an interesting behavior. So this is a little bit more of a hidden area, quote-unquote hidden area, where we can get to the Gadgetron vendor, which now will sell us... Oh, never mind. It's not here yet. Why is it not here yet? I was convinced that there would be the weapon I was talking about, but maybe it's at a later stage even. Well, there is another of these ships. Oh, I see. I think I know what this game wants us to do. There are two possible things we could do. And this is the reason why the vendor is here. Because we want to shoot through here to destroy the tower that is blocking our way. So the other way would be to grab the Visibomb and do it with the Visibomb. But that is completely unnecessary and, in my opinion, currently a waste of money. I am also taking damage because I am an idiot. I can't aim. Yeah, let just the auto aim do the thing. That's better for everyone, actually. I do remember that we can get up there, however... Okay, we can just double jump up there. So... nice little boost of health. I am unsure if we can get up over there. We probably... yeah, we needed to destroy the ship faster to get up there. But it's fine. It's not too important. We will manage with our current HP pool. We currently can't go outside here because there are machine gunners. So... or we could probably, but we would have to specifically jump over the parts where the machine gunners are, which would make everything a lot harder than it needs to be. So we just hack the system to get behind enemy lines. Okay, how do we want to do this? What is the most sensible way to do this? Like this. Alright, so this is basically the back line of the machine gunners, and we just knock them out one by one after we hack their system. Obviously there are no alarms. Why would there be? So yeah, we just did ye all hacking the system I'm in and disabling all the guns. So we can just get over here and get on with the mission. I want to go back to the puck gun and get rid of our gunman over there, so we can grab these little guys, so we can effortlessly just remove those. We are immediately targeted by more of the gunships, which I will just use 2 rockets on. This is not quite how I want this to play out. But he does not seem to reach me up behind here, so I will just shoot from here. This is probably the smarter way to deal with this situation. When in doubt, fall back. But yeah, we managed that quite nicely, I would say. So next thing we want to do is look inside here. And we can see more machine gunners works, which we will immediately blow up. Because I don't know exactly where the next part of the route is. I didn't look too close. But we just made our way, so we can go there. Where would that be? I'm a little confused. Oh, is it just up there? Do we just... Oh, okay. That looked quite different from my perspective. I don't know, I didn't see it as just a step that can go up there. A little bit of a mind tricks, but we can just go along here, just grab whatever they left there. I'm also pretty unsure how they got in there. If this tunnel and this small square hole down there is the only entrance. Kinda disturbing. How did they get in there? Alright, this is the part where we really want to activate the drones beforehand, because we will be dropping into an area where we have a... Yeah, there's no other word to describe this situation as a shit ton of enemies, which we will be taking care of. We want to remove the spawners. We want to quickly activate more drones if I can. Okay. Retries didn't work. We activate the drones. I do want the stuck gun. We still have one drone, which is fine. I can work with that. There are still lots of these guys, which I will now take care of because it becomes unbearable. And I only have one life left, which is not great. Yes, it's okay. Yeah, so we need to get rid of these spawners. This is the only way how this is in any way survivable. I do want to reactivate those guys, and I will swap to the Doom Bros, because okay, Doom Bros did not activate. Because I will not survive this if I have to turn in any way. Okay, we survived the onslaught. Quite an experience, to be honest. It is probably, even if you know what you're doing, which does not include me. But even if you know what you're doing, this is a room that is really exhausting. So I will gladly just take my victory.
Hello, Captain Ratchet. Come and get me, hero.
Perhaps we could obtain a ship in there.
Great idea. Let's go.
Yeah, so we will be battling Captain Quark now.
You know, Ratchet, I'm doing it for your own good. Now, why would you want to go and do a thing like that?
Yeah, so we will be trying to avoid lots of mines, lots of rockets. And yeah, this is now the point where we can only go back and forth between both rocket launchers he got. This is not the hardest fight, but you can basically, for the rockets, to avoid the rockets, you can basically boost a little bit so that the trajectory basically doesn't match your position anymore. So you will be basically free. Oh, this is not good. They actually deal a little bit of damage. I hope they do give health packs. Yes, okay, alright. Give me the health pack. I need it. We need to get rid of them. ASAP. What did you give? You give nothing. Okay. Fine. I do desperately need help.
Thank you, thank you. Tonight's event will be rebroadcast at 7 on channel 4073.
Okay, this is actually the first time ever I died in this fight. I can't remember that I have ever had problems with it.
Nothing from me to you.
Yeah. I guess I'm getting old.
Just a scratch. Going to be my first space battle when I was just a small front. No pain, no gain.
Yeah, I will try to concentrate for now, a little bit. So that we don't sit here for the next hour or so. But yeah, there's really nothing, not really anything I can say about this, other than, yeah, I guess I recommend leaving some of the rockets for these guys instead of using them on Borg, because they are quite annoying. They do lots of damage actually if they are all of them. So yeah, maybe next time I will think about just not using the rockets. It is, however, quite nice that I only need to put the reticle in the green area, basically. And this will automatically take care of the enemy ships. There's nothing like a B-aim that I need to do. So it's actually quite easy once you figure it out. You don't need to pre-aim. Yeah, back to the rocket shenanigans. And this is pretty annoying because you can't damage him while doing this, or you will take the rocket damage, which I do not recommend.
You're in big trouble. Big trouble. Time to get up close and personal.
Alright, I think we will be done in a few. Ouch. Stop it. Stop it. You're dealing too much damage.
You think you got me, huh? Catch me if you can.
Alright, so this is
Yeah, I'm the man.
getting kinda close. Oh no, okay. I will be shortly exiting combat and try to get a better aim on him. I'm also unsure what he is currently trying to achieve. And I can't really... I've noticed that I don't really deal damage a lot. So...
I've always liked you, kiddo. I was just following orders.
I did it, sir.
Mayday! Mayday! Well, Ratchet, I'd say you passed the test. Oh, boy.
Yes! Quark is history.
Despite my earlier criticism, I must admit your piloting skills are improving.
I knew you'd come around.
But that has not helped us locate Drek.
Come on, Clank. Can't you just once relax and enjoy a little success? Hey, you want to catch Drek? Betcha this baby can do it.
This is Darla Gratch reporting live from Gorda City. This once peaceful planet is being torn apart today in an unprovoked attack. It now seems certain that Supreme Executive Chairman Drek will not be dissuaded in his efforts to destroy the galaxy for his own selfish needs. All hope certainly seems lost.
Darla Gratch, Channel 2 News.
Yes, I know. It is worse than I expected, too.
Look, maybe you were right. This is a lot bigger than you or me. I was really selfish focusing on Quark.
It is not too late to stop Drek.
Hey, yeah! We've got this new ship. Let's go get him.
Now you are talking.
Yes, alright. So, yeah, we removed Quark from the equation. And I will show you a little something that is only here. So, if I can find the right way up. This is kind of a secret, because you are basically supposed to see this ship and just jump in. But you actually can go up this tower, and up on this tower is a little elevator, which we will operate and become the elevator operator. So this is the gold room, and the gold room has gold weapons, and these gold weapons are pretty nice. You have to obtain the base weapon before you can obtain the gold version, but you have stuff like the gold bomb glove, which will always cost a lot of bolts, and also they will cost gold bolts. I do kind of remember what the advantages are. The gold suck cannon, for example, can hold 10 enemies instead of 5, which in certain situations is not better. The gold glove of doom is actually just dealing more damage, and your doom bodies get bigger. The gold blaster has the side effect of bouncing bullets, so one bullet will just bounce around. Not that helpful, actually. The pyro-siler is still the pyro-siler. I kinda almost choked there. The pyro-siler is still the pyro-siler with green flames. I don't remember what else it does, because I never used it. And the bomb glove, which I suppose I also never really used. So yeah, these are the gold weapons that we can buy in this game. But I will not buy any of them right now. I do consider maybe some point in the future there will be a 100% completion where I will reuse these saves. But that is not today. Now I will sit us down at Gorda City, so we can remember that this is a thing that we need to do next time. There's also a little bit more stuff that we can see. at least one cutscene.
Clank? Clank? Come on, wake up!
Captain Quark?
No, goofball. It's me, Ratchet.
What happened?
You got toasted by lightning. This place is having one heck of a storm. You won't be safe out there. I'll be right back.
Yes, so we actually can't use Clank on this planet because it's a thunderstorm that will target Clank as soon as he steps out of the vehicle. So we will not be carrying Clank around on this level, which I think is actually not that bad. This is basically the Ratchet & Clank experience, which you will be having in part 4. But yeah, I will stock up on ammo.
Great bargains for you today.
There is the item I thought we would get earlier. It's the Tesla Claw, and it is an okay weapon, but not at this price. It's... yeah, it's a glorified Pyrocyler in my opinion. And if you really like the Pyrocyler, you can get this weapon. I do want to point out that it's 40,000 bolts, which means you will get this weapon even later than your maximum HP. So invest wisely, because this is not a cheap weapon. Maybe you don't need it. But yeah, that's actually it for today. I will save the game now and go over to the post-game yet. Quit the game. Okay. Let's go over here. Hello. Welcome back on the screen. I think we made quite the good progress today. I am quite sure that we will at max take 2 more sessions. I think 2 more sessions, and then we are done with Ratchet Clank 1. Which will immediately both be followed by Ratchet & Clank 2. And I do want to thank everyone that was watching today. Thank you, Adrenaline Dragon, for checking me out. I appreciate it. I saw that you are also a streamer, so please go check out Adrenaline Dragon sometime. I will also give a proper shout out. There we go, with a proper shout out. Yes, alright. What? Unrecognized command? What do you mean unrecognized command? Okay, I guess that does not work right now. Yeah. Alright, anyways. Yes, okay. I think I know what I did wrong now. I apologize. Let me quickly do that again. And I see that Adrenaline Dragon is also currently streaming, so I will be raiding Adrenaline Dragon, which probably can't hear me right now. If you can, hello, you are about to be raided. And yeah, thank you all for watching today. It is already pretty late, so I'm not gonna be talking too much. I have noticed that my voice is getting a lot better. So yeah, I do think that I'm settling into the streaming business quite nicely. So thank you everyone for playing with me today, for watching, and for checking me out. And I hope you all have a wonderful week. We will see each other on Thursday, because I had to reschedule a little bit of stuff. So we will be doing VR Saturday on Thursday. I hope you had a great time. I definitely had a great time. And see you all again on Thursday. Bye bye.